All that is, was, and will be. Universe, much too big to say. Time and space, never ending. Disturbing thoughts, questions pending. Limitation of human understanding. Too quick to criticize. Obligation to survive. We hunger to be alive. Yeah. All that is, ever was, will be, ever to think, turning through the never. In the dark, see past our eyes. Pursuit of truth, no matter where it lies. Gazing up to the breeze of the heavens, on a quest, meaning, reason, comes to be how it begun. All alone in the family of the sun, curiosity gazing everyone on a home, learn some from the sun. All that is, ever was, will be, ever to think, turning through the never.
Hey all, it's Monday, April 14th, 2014. I just want to talk to you about how basically I went ahead and got my life back from all this crazy stuff that's going on with me. So it was the diagnosis that I had was Meniere's disease, but I don't really know if that's what it is because I don't have the full-blown Meniere's disease. And I don't really, didn't know what to do at that point. I want to talk more about, the things I just started doing just to get back into it. One thing I forgot to mention, actually two things I forgot to mention was, how I, one day, one night, it was a Rutgers game that was going on, and my friends went to the Rutgers game. I told them, come over to my house afterwards. Yeah, it should be fine if you guys come over, blah, blah, blah. And they came over, and I kicked them out probably by about 8:30, 9 o'clock because I was so tired. That was before, I went to my dad's house and was even having the issues that I was having, which I was talking about. And then, and from there, basically what happened was that, I remember I had to go to Kohl's and everything and buy pants. I went from a size 38, 32 to size 36, 32, and even though that was not that big of a difference to me, it was because there's a lot of weight that was lost on my legs and everything. Anyway, that's besides the point right now. I'm going to talk about this for right now. I think I left off where I was basically asking the Lord to take me and Jesus to take me, and just felt like my soul was being sucked out of my body and blah blah blah. So I think the first thing that started happening was I went back to my house, started falling asleep at somewhat normal hours, maybe about 10 o'clock or so, and getting up maybe 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, which is still early for me. I basically had fear that I was going to lose my job, and at some point, my job said, you should really try to come in, it'd be really good for you. And I was like, this really stinks. I'm like, I want to come in so bad, but I'm afraid to, because I'm afraid I'm going to have a hard time driving, I'm going to feel dizzy and everything. I sucked it up and went, and I warned him. I said, look, I'm going to look a lot different, look a lot skinnier than what I was. And they saw me and they said, oh boy. They said, they were like, yeah. So they came in and said, oh, you look really good though. I'm like, yeah, but I don't feel right. And to this day, I still don't feel right. And they're like, no, you look fine, and et cetera, et cetera. So that was that. And one of the other things that I really have to thank my two friends, Chris and Carmen, for really getting me out there. Basically, I think it came to a point where I was doing Call of Duty, I think it was. I think we were getting a Call of Duty game, and Chris asked me, you want to do the midnight release, you think you'll be alright with that? It's right around the corner, we can come get you. And I said, okay, yeah, that's not a bad idea. Sorry, I'm trying to look for some of the things that I was doing over here on my computer. So, that was that. And so I actually went out and did the midnight release with them, which was actually turned out to be really good. Because I actually did the midnight release, came home, played the game a little bit, and I was like, alright, this is good. I can actually start getting out. Actually, we went out and had a couple of drinks at a restaurant, dinner and drinks at a restaurant before that, like around 10 o'clock. That was one of the two things that they got me to do. The other thing they got me to do was to actually go to a movie with them. It was Metallica's Through the Never, and it was rough. It was very rough, and to this day I still have issues with the movies. A small theater. It wasn't high, but it was in 3D. It was high impact, high action, lots of scenery, overhead scenery with 3D. So I didn't really think anything of it, but the whole time I was basically just going like this the entire time. I kind of felt like I was gonna fall over this way or that way or fall forward, and I was just holding on like this. I was trying to keep myself distracted by eating popcorn and drinking soda, and nothing was working. And finally after the movie was over, I said, that's an hour and a half. I think we got out like 12:30. I go, oh, this is good. Now I'm starting to stay up late again. That's good. So, gradually we went to a point where I was staying up till, 12, 12:30, 10, 10:30, and then eventually to 12, 12:30, like I was normally doing, and going to sleep for then. So yeah, that was that with them, and so the rest, came about, and I started getting out again some more. Went out to a house party down the street, which I knew it was going to be rough. I said, okay, it was my friend Anthony. It was his house party. He has an annual Halloween party all the time. I said, whatever. It's not a big deal. So went there and, had a good time there. But I was having a very difficult time sitting on the couch. I wanted to stand the whole time. I didn't want to do anything. I had a drink here and there. Just wanted to stand the whole time. I didn't want to sit down on the couch. I was nervous about sitting down on the couch for some reason. Nervous about sitting down in general. So eventually, I got myself to actually sit on the stairs, and that was that. Had a good time at the party, as you see. Me and my friend John over there in the beginning video, we dressed up as Nomad members from Married with Children, and people kept calling him Al, and me Mr. Darcy. So it was kind of funny. So I continued to do stuff like that, but in the same sense, I still wasn't feeling right, and and I noticed I was kind of getting a little depressed. I don't know why I was getting depressed, but I was just getting depressed, and I was feeling weak. Every morning I'd feel weak. Every morning I'd wake up nauseous. Every morning I'd feel weak. I was like, something's not right here. So I just kept struggling through it, and just kept going on through my day. So that was that. After that party was over, I went out. Basically just went out and to my Thanksgiving dinners that I had, at my dad's house and my aunt's house. Sorry, it wasn't my aunt's house. It was my dad's house, and it was just my dad's house, and so that was good. We had the Thanksgiving dinners there. No, sorry, I actually did go to my aunt's house. It was my dad's house, my aunt's house, same day. Then, went out with my friends afterwards, and, just got out, did what we needed to do, went and, to the restaurant that we always go to, and went and saw live music, which was good for me to get out a little bit and just have a good time and everything. So slowly I was progressing and getting my life back, but still I just wasn't feeling right. I was feeling depressed. I was feeling weak. Like I was saying, I was feeling nauseous. Something just didn't feel right. I was still afraid of heights. The ringing in the ear was still there. Still is here today. So, I said, all right, well, let me see what I can do. I think it was about December-ish or so. I went to a place called Reiki Healing. It was up in North Jersey, and it was quite an experience. So I went up there, and basically, she basically puts her hands on all your things and everything like that, and she works with cancer patients. Because the first thing I was concerned about, I told her, I said, I'm concerned I have some form of cancer. She works with cancer patients and everything. She puts her hands all over the place. Has me lie down on the table, over here, over there. And she turned around and she, after she was done, she said, I don't detect any cancer in you. I work with a lot of cancer patients, and usually the spots where they have the cancer, I can detect it. Where the weakness is and where everything's happening. Where all the negativity is coming from. And she goes, I'm not sensing any negative energy that much from you. So the only two spots that I had a problem with were your heart, which I told her I've been to a cardiologist and I was fine. She goes, okay, and she said, and she checked again with my stomach, I guess with her, the aura thing that she does. She checked there and she goes, yeah, there was some weakness coming from your stomach. She said, normally with the heart and the stomach, this signifies with the heart, something signifies something with the father. So there might be an issue with your father that you're having. And then she said with the stomach, it signifies something with your stomach. And then she asked me, she said, did your mother die? And I told her, yeah, about 9 years ago. And she goes, huh. And then she started telling. I told her how she died and everything, and all of a sudden she goes, you have to stop. And I go, why? She goes, she's here right now. And I go, what? And she goes, I'm getting goosebumps all in my arms. Actually, when I was telling this story to my aunt, I got very, very emotional. It was Christmas, and I was actually crying when I told this story to my aunt. So now I'm okay telling this story, but still, it's an emotional story. So I guess she got goosebumps all in her arms, and that was it was very interesting. And she said, I'm gonna say a prayer and wish her peace and all that. Just so she's following you, and she's with you all the time. And I was like, wow, it's just very strange. And she says, normally this never happens to me, but I can tell. And so that was around Christmas time. Right around Christmas time, actually, I decided to do, first thing in 2 years, was put up my Christmas tree and my decorations, something I haven't done in a long time. And so I called my friend Corey, and her father was going through a bunch of stuff. Asked her to come over, if she wanted to come over and help out or whatever. I told her everything that was going on with me, because we really haven't seen each other in a while. We used to, kind of hang out a lot. And so she came over. She helped me out with the decorations, put up the tree, decorate the tree, put the lights up outside. And unfortunately, her father died a few weeks later. He had a cancer thing going on too. Found out about it way too late. So but it was good that she came over. Christmas time came around. Went out, saw my family, did a thing at my aunt's house, did a thing at my dad's house, then went to my buddy's house, which I do every Christmas Eve as well. Generally just had a good time. I stayed at my dad's house actually that same night. Seemed a little annoyed about it, but what can you do? I said it'd be kind of cool if I could stay here. It'd be really nice, to stay with you guys. So that took me to about December. January came about, and went out for New Year's Eve, which was again a good time. I was still in pain, still feeling weak, but just went out and had a good time with friends and everything like that. New Year's Eve, and this funny story was that my friend Anthony, he had a house party, and I guess somebody tried to light his fireplace, and when they lit his fireplace, basically the smoke came. The flue was closed, and the smoke came in the house, and we had to call the fire trucks, and the fire department came. Maybe about 12:01 a.m. the thing happened, so it was like right when the New Year's Eve changed. So yeah, New Year's Eve was good, and a few days later, I remember I had to go back to the doctor and had him take more tests to say, look, I want to get checked for this and that and that and that. One of the things I want to check was my vitamin D deficiencies that I thought I would have had, and sure enough, and testosterone level too, and sure enough, vitamin D levels were supposed to be between 50 and I think 70 something, and it was at 14, which was terrible. On top of that, he was checking me for all the other stuff, the virus that I have, and he tested my testosterone, and that took a huge dip as well, unfortunately. So that could contribute to the muscle loss that I had as well. So, I asked him if, the same doctor I asked, could you give me androgel for that, something, the testosterone? He said no. He told me to take 2,000 IU a day of vitamin D, you'll be better, in about a month. Talking to a friend of mine, she's a nutritionist, and she recommended that I don't take 2,000. She actually recommended that I take 10,000 IU. So I actually listened to her, and I'll tell you, it's made a huge difference. My last blood test that I had, my vitamin D was actually in normal range. It went to 57. So it still needs to go up about, supposedly she said it needs to go up maybe about 20 points to get up there, but it's back to normal. So, I went back to the gym, started working out. That was helping me and everything. That was great. Still couldn't get to events, though. Went to New York City, saw a Saved by the Bell parody play, which the old Mr. Belding was there. Definitely struggled there. It was, there's only 10 rows there, but I was still struggling. I was trying to struggle just to sit up and everything, and it was hurting to sit up. And a couple of times I was, a lot of times I was just, holding on because I felt like I was gonna fall over. At that point, my friend Dave was sitting to my right, and I was laughing about something. As I was laughing, I was like, whoa! I felt like very off balance as I was sitting down. But I went out, I did it anyway, and that's how I was getting my life back, by doing that. Decided, started feeling better, started to go see my old hockey team play, was having an issue, basically there's an ice rink over here, and there's just a balcony over here. I was having an issue watching it from the balcony at some points, but after about 4 or 5 times watching their games, I got used to it, which was great. And when I got used to it, I said, okay, well, and I started saying, maybe I'm better enough to actually play because, I haven't played since August, and maybe this is a lot of exercise that I need. Went ahead, got back on the ice right during the playoff time. 6 games in 2 weeks, including a championship game. It was brutal. It was very brutal, but I survived, and it was good for me, and it still is good for me. I'm still playing. I'm still the captain of the team. During that time, I remember I was telling you, I took a road trip to Boston, went to a concert up there in Boston, went out with friends, went out to eat, had a couple drinks, whatever. And, I still continue to go ahead and do, go out and do live music with friends and simple things, simple pleasures that I'm doing and everything. So, yeah, that's that. That's how I was getting my life back. And so I'll keep this one a little bit shorter than the last ones. And I think there'll be probably one more video to discuss, the things that I am doing and the things I plan on doing to help me out here. Hopefully one day I'll discover what's causing the ringing in my ear. Hopefully whatever balance issue I have goes away. Whatever, and it's not really even a balance issue. It's more like when I'm sitting down, something just weird happens to me. Could be my back, could be my neck, I don't know. I've kinked my neck a lot. That's the other thing I've been seeing, the chiropractor. I'll tell you about that in the next video. So yeah, that's that, and hopefully everyone has a good week, and I should see you guys next week.